Speed's increased, that's okay. Okay, so while we're in the dungeon, we won't see any ash storms. I wish this could get reworked a little bit. Because you can see the boundaries, but sometimes you have to look to see that, like, where the paths are going. I think minimally, if it's hard to say because there could be a hex down here. So I was going to say if it's the outer shell, put like an outline or something, but like this one's wide open. Oh man, we lost the effect of the monsters. So that one goes there. So what do we have? Hey, yeah, let's grab a card. Smash. Cannot craft cards in tent for 5 hours, but that's fine. What we want to watch out for is things that prevent us from renewing cards. Although not renewing cards here is, well, the bleed's bad, I suppose. Hydra is a sea wave, so we can just play the shadow thing and get it played. Yeah. Or we can play our Phoenix so that we get the draw blood. Yeah, let's save that one then. Alright, so let's get the bleed on him. Get our Phoenix. Shiv, get those cards in. I don't think we need our healing balm right now, so let's put that there. We'll hold on to our shadow assistant. Man, if we could have drawn one of the other cards, it would have been good. Might hold back off on the egg here. Is he going to bleed himself? That'd be great if that makes him add his own bleed. Actually, you know what? Let's use the Tome of Lust and maybe we draw one of our deal damage cards. There you go. Look at that. Pops the egg for us. Love it. We might just kill the egg then. No. No. Let's get the bleed on this guy. You know, let's draw everything. I don't think we need cloak this fight. We want to draw the free AoE. Because it'll hit the egg. Nice. We've got another turn on the egg as well. Although the chance of drawing the AoE is guaranteed. Unless I play the secret set, in which case then it's not guaranteed. It won't matter. I don't think it matters. So it's actually better. Oh, I didn't put the... It wasn't misplayed. Unlucky. What happened to my my thing? Oh, traits are unavailable. Oh, that's not cool. I know this is going to the general area of where a player model is. It just feels wrong that it's hitting so high. Like the air. You know what I mean? He can't aim down too hard. Yeah. So there's smart ways around that. Like you have... I mean, you don't have to have hit points for every enemy. You can have a default hit point, which they all have at the moment, and then have specific enemies have their own hit point. And then you could put a curve on it or line it down or something. And so for smaller enemies, just put it at a specific point for them. Or you could have a different category of enemy that you call them small, and they all have the small hit point on the model. We can't craft cards because we're on a penalty for that. We're full health, so we're wasting rest points, which is great. It means we're in front. But you could quite easily fall behind. Now, you can't gather resources in the dungeon. You can collect some from finding them, but you can't harvest the nodes like you can on the outside. Our dodge chance has been increased by 1%. Yay. And make it truly follow cursor. The problem is you need a hitbox then for every enemy. And you could be aiming at their feet. So like we'll show it when we get there. It's not bad doing it that way. Oh, another silent onslaught. Man, we could have gone full silent onslaught. Yeah, we got a key. Second shadow cloak? No, they don't work together well. Hand tricks? Yes. Okay, because we have multiple of the other card. Or if we get any of the cards that like the ones that you don't actually play. So that doesn't go anywhere. We don't need to go up into that node. Okay, so you can harvest some nodes, but not all of them like up in thing. We don't have a key. Level of monsters increased. We'll have to come back to that. Now, what we can do, though, is we could not fight monsters while we've got that time restriction. But it does... We get 1 or 1 herb. Okay, there we go. But it does cost us time. That's the Dungeon Lord. So we're gonna check around for some of the others first. However, our dodge is increased by 1%. Not too shabby. The dungeon could peel off that way or up here as well. And I think I'd like to get a little bit stronger. I'm not too confident yet with the deck to fight the dungeon boss. Feel pretty good. Not super good though. Deals 3 damage. In the next turn, the mana cost of cards in the player's hand is increased by 1. I don't want that at all. So hopefully that gets reflected. So I want to keep that. No, it doesn't. I'm not sure I'm happy about that. Don't think I get a say in the matter, though. That's okay, Rain. Well, I appreciate it when people are active. You know, I also understand. I watch streams and I'm fairly silent myself. Yeah, so if they... I don't mind, like, for this one it's fine, right? We, it goes to that one. It doesn't need to... It can be locked. But if... Otherwise you'd have to have a generic hitbox or create a specific hitbox for each enemy. And I think the fact that this one's generic, it does make coding a lot easier. You can just add enemies into the fight, and unless you go double wide, it doesn't matter. They all react exactly the same, which is, you know, good practice. Playing the new character right now, munchies. It's a Sly. It's got a cool backstory. Whereas if you give a generic hitbox of like this size and allow freedom on the x-axis, you could end up aiming up here for one of the little dudes. So I don't mind that one, but yeah, the little eggs, seems weird that he's aiming over the top of them. So she just dies. We don't need to do anything here. We'll just use our snake shiv because we can. Alright, do we have... Okay, so the only thing we have hand tricks for is our our fragile daggers, which I think is worth it, right? Although it does mean you don't draw them down the track, but that's okay. Probably better to get them early. You could get all your knives. Knives. Yeah. So time still does go past. I'm gonna head up. Doesn't matter. This way. Oh, there's a big chest. We still don't have keys. And a little chest, and we don't have keys. Oh, man. Maybe that's a thing. Like, get keys while you're in the overworld. What's he doing? He's going to apply poison. It's only damage taken that gets deflected back. Fair enough. So there's no damage on that. I wonder if that gets broken then. So we did get a throw dagger. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's use our energy to play that. We don't need to heal off that. I did spend a couple keys in the overworld, and I think maybe it would have been better to not do that. Oh, he's stealthed. We hit him anyway, though. So we could save them for, like, in future Act 1s, save the keys for when you come to the dungeon, because you come to the dungeon. Is this going to be enough? 9 on top of that. Be 10, yeah? Okay, cool. Provided we don't miss. That's the issue. And I don't... This is why I don't like dodge in this game, because... Or in any game like this, because you want to use your... You know, you want to use your mathematical ability. You don't... Factoring a dodge in each turn or a potential crit... I think an onslaught's good here. I like it. Oh, we did get a key. So I don't know if it's better to spend 2 keys on a medium chest or on 2 small chests. Hey, Iridan, yeah, that's how I feel. Alright, can we just kill 3-Face? Is that... Or we just go stealth this turn? Oh, hand tricks is so good. What I say the biggest change is the fact that this is more of a campaign style game than a... I mean, it's still got the replayability from STS from like a run point of view, but the runs are longer and it's got more of a campaign development where you're looking at getting upgrades from different vendors. There's not as much penalty as there in an STS and other roguelikes for making early changes. Like early changes can be so you can make your deck stronger in the early game by taking average cards, and you don't get penalized like you do in STS for having a bunch of average cards. Hey, Eddie Terminator, how you doing? I don't think there's anything we can do here except play secret set and take a little bit of damage. That's fine. That's not true. I could have played one of these, which would have drawn a damage. Would that have killed then? No. That would have gone to 8, and the damage would have done 2. Oh, it might have killed. But it would have cost me a renew point anyway. I can use the rest point to heal. So it doesn't matter. I love that fact. Unless it had drawn that. Yeah, so playing a tome to get a shiv, that was what I was talking about just before, but that doesn't actually help me, because at the end of the day, I would have to renew the tome, which costs a rest point. Or I take damage of less than 10, which costs a rest point. So along the way, you're collecting... there's also much more freedom of map in this game. We're in a dungeon, but there's an overworld map. You're collecting resources along the way, and these are what you spend in town at different vendors. As well as gold. World of Warcraft got kind of boring. I think that's been World of Warcraft's biggest draw through all the time I played it, that it was kind of boring. Okay, so this guy's a little bit stronger. His card effect activates twice. I don't want 2 bleeds, though. Oh, man. So I don't actually have a card, but applying the bleed is probably good. Oh, actually, putting the snake shiv is probably better. I think this guy could actually do some damage. So let's put the healing balm on. Alright, let's just stealth that then. Did I not play secret set? Not yet, okay. That's good. Oh, you can't stealth that? Oh, you still got the heal anyway? I don't know. I feel a little bit ripped off about that. Alright, so we... Secret set? Tome of Last. Hand tricks. The thrown dagger. Draw all the thrown daggers. It's dealing 22. I like it. I'm gonna take another Tome of Blast. I'm gonna really focus on the bleed. Unless I get way more poison, unless I get more poison offered. Okay, so now we've got keys, which is nice. But we'll head up this way. Monsters increase for 8 hours kind of sucks. But since we're going to be opening chests, when this card is played, craft 3 fragile throw dagger cards for 3 cost. I don't know about that. Amulet of Heartbeat. We don't have a very big battle deck, so that's not good. I might just keep going for the bleed, right? I mean, it's kind of good because you can play it on a very specific turn and have those 3 cards. It's a boon, so you have it on your first turn, right? That's why it costs extra. Or maybe that's why you hold on to it. And then you put 2 bleeds out. Which we can't, because our bleeds cost too much. Yeah, no, I see why it's worth 3 now. Oh. Because you straight away, you're going to get... If you have 3 bleeds on something and then you play that next turn, your damage just goes through the roof. Okay. I'm going to want to try and craft that, though. We'll go for the big chest? Or 2... I'll go for the big chest over 2 little chests. Maybe we can get a key off that monster. Deal 8 damage 3 times. Oof. Strike cards that are played against this character with this effect cost 1 mana less, but no less than 1. No, that's right. Cost 7. I have this card in your hand, its mana cost reduced by 1. You like Toxic Well? I guess it's 1 damage to yourself, you're going to heal up anyway. With these ones where they cost 1 less for every time it's in your hand, does the cost reset when you put it back into your deck and draw it again? Or does it stay that cost for the rest of combat? Does Toxic Well bugged? It's a strike card, so does the damage work on bleeds? Plus it's ashed, so we don't have to play it, it just happens all the time, right? Not just stepwise, but cards that have preparation on them in general. Yeah, that's an ash card, so we just need to play that once. Or we could just, yeah, you only need to play it once and then never again, right? Reduces the cost of the card by 1 if it's in your hand. So that card, there was 2 in there that had preparation. 1 cost 8 and 1 cost 7. But I don't know if it's the turn you... Oh, wait, you can only play it once per combat anyway. So as soon as you renew it, it's going to cost more. Okay, let's let him take some damage. Stop hitting yourself. Okay, so the thing is, I need to make that card first, then we can hold it. Where's my everything card? Hand Tricks is burnt? Why is my Hand Tricks burnt? Okay, I really think if it's got a minimum cost, it needs to tell you that, like, at every step of the game when you look at it so that you can see what that is. Costs 40. Well, we're definitely saving up for it.